it just looks a bit low budget. It's like she's kind of like, you know, you've got like a wallpaper from your computer and just like photoshopped her onto it and just stuck some cherries on top. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jess. Today I got a special request from Jerusha, hi Jerusha Couture, to do a response video to a campaign advertising the Louis Vuitton Cherry collection by Takashi Murakami, and I saw this on the web.cloud, I believe it is. Let me just confirm, the .webcloud. So they posted the the campaign, and yeah, I'm gonna say like some of the like pictures in the photo shoot really looked very like last minute, kind of like rushed, and it was very obviously like her and then like a green screen, and it was very like cut and paste, which is fine for like, I don't know, something that's more amateur, but for a big brand like Louis Vuitton, it looked a bit, yeah, like a bit dodgy. I don't know, something about it. It looked like the cherries had been like just cut and paste onto the background, and I don't know, I'm gonna assume this was intentional because, you know, if you think about when the Murakami collection came out, right, it was like 2005, 2003, around that time. I always forget, guys, I get confused, but around that time, I guess that was, you know, MacBooks were like, iMacs were like, you know, a thing, like those colorful iMacs, and I remember like the desktop, like kind of layout and like word art. I don't know, it kind of looked a little bit to me like Y2K computer. A little bit, something about it. It was just like, yeah, I don't know if it was trying to encapsulate the Y2K vibe by looking so, like low quality. Does that make sense, guys? I don't know if it was trying to capture that kind of feel of like old computer, or if it was just really last minute, because it just seemed a bit random. Because I mean, and Frozen Luxury, I follow on Instagram, mentioned how if you compare like the old photo shoots from the Takashi Murakami collection, you know, back in the day when Marc Jacobs was the creative director, they're a very different vibe, a little bit more elevated, really, it looks very luxurious. It has a bit of element of mystery to it, you know, it's a little bit not as, yeah, it looks like a high fashion photo shoot. If you think about it, just, you know, they had Jennifer Lopez, and they had this beautiful blonde model as well. I forgot her name, but the whole aesthetic was a lot different. It was a little bit more classy compared to now, which it's very cutesy. Zendaya looks amazing as usual, but it just looks very like cut and paste. Like even the way they've like cut her body out, it just looks so like amateur hour. And I honestly I thought they must be doing that on purpose to look like dodgy on purpose. But what do you reckon, guys? Do you reckon this was a bit of a rushed job or what? Or am I just like reading the whole situation wrong? Anyways, Jerusha wanted me to comment on this video, so let's watch it. So this is on the web.cloud. So Zendaya's blowing the little cherries, and she's on the beach in, I think it could be Italy. You know, she's on the bike, you know, the expensive cherry bike, and she's got that Marilyn Monroe-esque dress as well. So yeah, this collection always had a bit of a 50s vibe element. Even if you look at the, you know, the runway collections from, I think it was 2005, a lot of the models had a bit of a 50s twist. So I understand that's why they're kind of reinterpreted this collection with that Marilyn Monroe kind of dress. And even the way her hair is with the fringe and the lipstick, it does have a bit of a retro look. And on the beach, and she's in Italy, that like holiday vibe. Something like, you know, I think it's the mountain, the way it's just like cut out like that, and then the cherry, but it kind of looks like a little bit like a collage, like a cut and paste collage. And yeah, I'm going to assume they did that on purpose. Now, whether it was trying to make some sort of artistic statement about, you know, this fantasy, it's like, you know, when you make a dream board and you like cut out pictures and you stick it on your dream board, and it's like, you know, also very dreamy, like these cherries are not real, these smiling cherries. And I think to understand maybe the intention of this ad, you'd probably have to look a little bit more into Takashi Murakami's work and what the cherries symbolize. Yeah, the thing with Takashi Murakami's art, it's actually something that I should research a lot more. I'm not gonna lie, guys, when I look at his art, I just think it looks cute and I love it. But there's actually more meaning behind his art. And I have heard and read, if you just do a quick Google search, for example, the smiling flowers, while they seem like the smiling multicolored flower may seem innocent at first glance, the symbol withholds a much darker message, and Murakami's flowers represent the trauma and collective dark emotions Japanese locals are still experiencing from the 1945 Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings. So there is something behind this, like, the faces of these characters, they seem, there's more to it than what meets the eye. It's almost like a mask. There's like a fakery behind it that they're hiding, whether it's emotions, whether it's, you know, trauma. And I think, you know, with this ad even, although it seems very amateur and, like, I guess it captures that kind of like Y2K aesthetic, I think it's done that way intentionally to look a little bit maybe more surreal. Maybe I'm reading into it a little bit wrong, guys, but yeah, I think there's a reason why they've done it this way. And yeah, or is it just really last minute? I don't know, guys, because I will say like the advertising is a lot in stark, it's like a stark contrast to what it was when Marc Jacobs was at Louis Vuitton. Hey guys, I'm just doing a bit more reflecting on this ad campaign because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't do a lot of research before doing this video, and just looking at some of the old ads, and you know, there's one of a model, I could be Naomi Campbell, I actually can't tell, but she's like lying on some trunks. And it also looks a little bit surreal, I will say, because she's kind of just like plonked into the desert. I will say like the blending is a lot better than in this one, where it's like very cut and paste. It kind of looks more harmonious, but it is that surrealist aspect as well. So I don't know, that's kind of like leading on into the same feel that this current campaign has. And then another thing I noticed that they repeated was there were many like poses in the old photo shoot where the model was like on a diving board, or she was like, yeah, like sitting on a diving board or something like that. And they have kind of incorporated that same idea into this photo shoot where Zendaya is also like going up a diving board. So there is a little bit of a connection between the old photo shoot and the new one. And I'm going to guess that's intentional. I think the reason why it looks quite cartoony and cut and paste is because I think they were trying to capture that kind of era in a more modernized way, maybe. Although I will say the old photo shoot did have a little bit more element of mystery to it. This one looks, it's definitely more colorful, more eye-catching. Do I like it as much? Maybe not, but I guess, you know, it's hard to beat the original idea, right? It just looks a bit low budget. It's like she's kind of like, you know, you've got like a wallpaper from your computer and just like photoshopped her onto it and just stuck some cherries on top. And I don't know, guys. I honestly, it did confuse me. When I first saw it, I was like, what? Like, is that it? Yeah, it doesn't look very high fashion, and I think too, maybe there's more meaning behind it, is what I'm trying to say. But just zooming up on some of the cherries. Now, what I noticed is with this new collection, I do believe it's going to launch pretty soon, actually. With the monogram, the cherries are like stuck on there, and they have like a shiny finish. Like when you look at it, like when they're like modeling it, it's like shiny. So it's not like a matte finish like with the original cherry collection, because I've had the cherry speedy a few times and I've owned like pieces from the older collections, and I know the print, it's the same shininess throughout. It's not like raised or it's printed onto the canvas seamlessly. But with these new cherries, they're kind of like stuck on there like a sticker, and it's like shiny, which honestly I don't know if I love that effect. I kind of wish that it was more incorporated within the canvas. Instead, it looks like it's literally like stickers stuck onto the canvas, and I don't know if they're gonna peel or anything, but it just looks a bit like less seamless than before. That's something about that I wasn't a huge fan of. Like, if you compare the Speedy 20, the new one, the cherries look a lot different. The print is much more crisp and the eyes are much more striking than the original collection. Also, the cherries are bigger than on the Speedy 25. But yeah, it definitely has like a different effect compared to the older collection. And yeah, a lot of, I think, critique as well from this new collection is they just don't have as many like details as the original collection. Like some of the original pieces, they had like, you know, like the bags would have like frills and like extra studs and like big buckles and just like a lot more substantial hardware. Whereas they've kind of made it a lot more basic, I would say. And honestly, I think the reason they've made it a little bit more basic compared to the original collections is literally because they're trying to cut costs, make more money. But also, a lot of people don't like the over-the-topness that the original collection had. They're trying to make it a little bit more, you know, modernized to the trends of today. Which, you know, I think that the older collection did have a bit more charm. There are some bags that had amazing details. And although they look a bit dated now, I just think that they were quite cool. And yeah, anyways, another thing to note is the denim pieces. The cherries are actually embroidered onto the denim. And I think that this is good because if it was printed onto the denim, I think it would look a bit cheap. So at least they've gone the extra mile and embroidered it onto the denim. So yeah, I think one of the most popular bags will definitely be this little like Neverfull BB in the denim because it's reversible. And I know reversible tote bags have been very popular since everyone's been loving the Goyard Mini Anu tote. And, you know, this is like the cherry collection. That being said, I think most people do prefer the brown monogram compared to the denim. And then when it comes to the white monogram, I'm not a huge fan of it myself. I just think it's like it's not tapping into that nostalgia that the original collection had. And it looks very Coach. So yeah, for me, I would say the brown looks the best. Now, am I going to buy anything myself? Honestly, guys, I'm skipping this one out. I feel like the prices are a little absurd. And yes, luxury is absurd pricing. I will pay the price, guys, for something I'm obsessed with. But I don't know, something for me is not hitting it with this collection. Maybe I'm just over it, to be honest. Maybe because I've collected it in the past, because I've talked about it like for a million videos now, maybe I'm just over it, to be honest. But yeah, I just think that there's nothing grabbing me. The design is a little lazy. The campaign also looked a little lazy. I don't know if that was on purpose or what, but honestly, I'm a bit confused by it. And I don't know. It's not grabbing me. That being said, am I excited to see people wearing it in real life? Am I excited to see the unboxings? Absolutely, 100% yes. And if, you know, I had unlimited money, would I buy anything from the collection? I would probably try and get the Speedy 20 if I had unlimited funds, but it's going to be very hard to get unless you're a VIP. And I would still rather spend my money on something else, like an Hermes Lindy or something. That's just because I'm obsessed with it right now. But, you know, there's other things I would prefer to buy luxury-wise even. Yeah, if money was no object for me, I would even probably start buying more jewelry and stuff than this. Because it's very expensive, this collection. It's like not small prices. And yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't think it actually looks that expensive is the thing. It looks expensive, but I think for the money you could get something much nicer. But I don't know, that's just my opinion, guys. So anyways, let me know what you think about the new cherry campaign as well, and are you gonna snap anything up from the new collection? And yeah, thanks Jerusha for tagging me to do this video, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye!